Hollywood kicks off its self-congratulations season tomorrow night with the 73rd Annual Golden Globe Awards. Stars of screens big and small will turn out at the Beverly Hilton Hotel to learn which films and TV shows impress members of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. The event also offers a hint of things to come at the Oscars. So here to predict the top movie honors is Matt Singer, managing editor and critic for the film website ScreenCrush.com. Matt, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
I'm going to miss Tina and Amy.
Yes, that is true. We've got Ricky Gervais back again.
He's done it before, so he's excellent as well, but...
Yes, and the big story will probably be who he offends. There's going to guaranteed, given his performances in previous years, guaranteed to be a few people. The other big story is going to be who wins and how that affects the Oscar race, but that can sometimes be hard to figure out. They're different groups, the Oscars and the Globes. The Oscars is the Academy, that's 7,000 filmmakers. The Globes are chosen by less than 100 journalists with, let's be generous and say, somewhat eccentric tastes. That can be fun because it's hard to predict who they're going to pick, but it can also make it tough to predict the Oscars from the Globes.
Yeah, but this is the first sort of handicapping event we have right here. And let's look at the big prize, Best Drama. What do you think the odds are there?
I'm going to go with Spotlight. That's where I would put my money in this category, for the reason that it is a movie about Boston Globe reporters who uncovered this sex abuse scandal within the Catholic Church, and it really celebrates journalists. And so, as a result, not surprisingly, journalists tend to respond very favorably to this movie. And as we've said, who votes on the Golden Globes? 100 journalists.
Especially when the journalists are heroic. Is this your choice for Best Picture?
I mean, if I had to, maybe my choice would probably be Mad Max Fury Road from this group. If I got a vote, an incredible achievement in direction and action, cinematography. You know, it's not the kind of movie that tends to win awards, but maybe that's why it kind of should. It really elevated the blockbuster movie to high art, I thought. So Spotlight was a great film, but that's where my vote would go.
Well, let's talk about Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama. Everybody's talking about Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
But do you think?
Yeah, you read these stories about how hard it was to make The Revenant. I saw a headline that literally said, Leonardo DiCaprio ate raw bison liver, slept in an animal carcass, and lived to tell the tale. It sounds more like a bad camping trip than great acting to me, but, you know, voters tend to respond to that sort of sacrifice, that sort of dedication to the craft. Always tends to do well, and Leonardo DiCaprio, he has won a few Golden Globes, but he's never won an Oscar, and I think there is this sentiment out there that he is due for some recognition.
All right, who's the front runner for Best Actress in a drama?
You know, I'm going to go with, this is a tough category. It's a really competitive category this year. I'm going to go with an actress named Brie Larson. You know, sometimes they give an award, it's a career achievement award, and sometimes it's more of like a career announcement, kind of heralding a new star. And she is one of the most exciting young actresses in a long time. She can do comedy, she can do drama. She is great in Room as this mother trying to raise her child trapped inside this tiny little room. It's an intense movie. It's a great performance.
It's also an intense read. I read this book and I couldn't put it down. It's so good if you haven't read the book.
You got to check out the movie, too.
Yeah, I need to. All right, let's talk about Best Motion Picture Comedy or Musical.
I'm going to go with The Big Short in this case. Unlike a couple of the other nominees in this category, Joy and The Martian, it is actually a comedy which is nice. And the other two actual comedies in the group, they're a little bit lighter, let's say. The Big Short has some substance there. It's a funny movie, but it's an angry movie, too. It is about the economic collapse, the housing crisis of 2008, why it all happened. You know, it's a funny movie, but it's maybe the timeliest of the bunch, the most important, I would say, of the bunch, and that always goes over well with voters.
I'm still trying to figure out what The Martian is doing in Best Comedy or Musical.
You didn't enjoy the hilarious story of a man trapped on Mars?
For 2 years?
Some one-liners, Matt Damon.
Yeah, and there was some David Bowie music, right? So it's a musical, yeah.
All right, let's look at Best Actress in a comedy or musical.
Yeah, another very competitive category here, and I'm just still thinking about Matt Damon. He's up for Best Actor in a comedy. You know, he's so hilarious in that movie. You know, what are you going to do? But that's the way. Again, the Golden Globes. It's a mercurial.
Well, we have Best Actor up here, so let's talk about that since Matt Damon is there.
Okay, Best Actor. Yeah, again, I think he's the front runner. I would probably go with someone from The Big Short. But there's two there. They might split the votes. And they're both sort of supporting performances. There really isn't a strong lead in The Big Short. Matt Damon in The Martian, he really is the only guy carrying that movie for long stretches of it. He is literally looking into the camera. That is a very difficult sort of role, to hold a movie with just basically your charisma and looking into the lens and talking. So I think Matt Damon's probably going to take that one.
Who do you think is going to take Best Actress in a comedy or musical then?
I'm going to go with Jennifer Lawrence. The Golden Globes love Jennifer Lawrence, especially when she's working.
I love Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, we all love Jennifer Lawrence, especially when she is working with David O. Russell. She's made 3 movies with him. She's already won 2 Golden Globes for those movies. I think this is going to be the 3rd.
All right, let's look at Best Supporting Actor if we can here.
Best Supporting Actor. You know, it's funny. Just a few months ago, you guys had me on to do like a holiday movie preview, and I said then, I think Sylvester Stallone might win an Oscar for Creed, and we were like, oh, that would be crazy, but I think it's going to happen, and I think this is sort of another step on that road.
That's certainly a popular choice. We haven't got much time, so let's move to Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress.
Who do you
Jane
pick?
Fonda. You know, it's another sort of career achievement award. Maybe not the greatest movie, maybe not the showiest performance. Another actor who I think we take for granted, hasn't won in a long time, and is due for a little recognition.
All right, the round one of the awards battle coming
It has
up.
begun.
It has begun. Matt Singer, thanks so much. And during the Golden Globes on Sunday, Cheryl Underwood from The Talk will be taking over our CBS This Morning Twitter feed. Follow her at CBS This Morning for all of her awards coverage.